So, hello everyone. Haven't seen you guys for a while, but I had to come to discuss this. Oh, you can't see the screen. Jamaican teachers strike after Jamaican staff targeted at South London school. Now, the reason why this story is so interesting to me is that we actually have a live case at this school, and the problem that has been cited is what? Racism. So to hear that these teachers have actually been targeted around racism doesn't shock me. So teachers at a secondary school in South London they've already striked now, will strike for 2 days after Jamaican staff were targeted by their boss and underpaid thousands of pounds, the National Education Union has said. Now, the interesting thing is that what we have to understand as Black, African and African Caribbeans is that the UK go to Africa, they go to the Caribbean to pick the cream of the crop of our teaching staff, of our nurses, of our doctors, to bring them to the UK to then abuse them. Anyway, staff at Academy Beckenham will begin strike action on Tuesday after complaining about, this is gone by the way, this is past tense, after complaining about being severely overworked to the point of exhaustion, having to do with an acceptable management style as well as breaches of union rights. The Harris Federation, which is the UK's second largest academy chain, previously came under fire after being accused of paying Jamaican teachers less than their British colleagues. We woefully refute any allegations of racism. We are extremely proud of our excellent cadre of Jamaican teachers whom we train, develop and promote within our schools. Their pay and conditions are exactly the same as others in the same position, a spokesperson for the Harris Federation said. The academy chain actively recruits overseas trained teachers from Jamaica who come to the UK on work visas, the NEU said. Now, the interesting thing about that is that we know whenever they go to recruit teachers, it might as well be the slave trade again, because they go, like I said, for the best. They bring them back. They mistreat them through the threat and fear of deportation if they don't toe the line. You know what they try to do to those of us that are born in the UK. So imagine you're coming in from another country. Now, there is a culture evidently within the Harris Federation, and I'll tell you as for why. From first-hand experience, this isn't hearsay, that we have had a parent where we were doing an online Zoom around some of her concerns and some of her concerns around her child who was at the Harris Academy, this very Harris Academy. Now, what had happened was when I tried to log in, this meeting was supposed to take part for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Now, when I was supposed to log on to take part in said meeting, they pretended that they couldn't see me online. What they did, along with the head teacher and the deputy head, they attempted to bully the parent whilst I went online to represent the parent. And then not even 10 minutes before the meeting was due to end, the head teacher, one of the teachers, head teachers, whichever, had already left the online meeting. They then let me in. Now, by this time, everything had been discussed. They tried to bully her into doing things. And luckily, Mum was clever enough to say, well, no, actually, I'm waiting for my advocate to actually come online and hear what has been described and said. We are still in discussions with this same school, said school, who have vehemently denied that there is anything racist. And even within our complaint, we have cited racism. Within our complaint, we have cited the fact that Black children are severely more likely to end up permanently excluded, placed in isolation for weeks upon weeks, months upon months. We know of children that have been placed in isolation. Now, remember, parents, and remember anyone listening to this, isolation rooms isolation places were designed to break mentally, emotionally, the hardest criminals on the planet. They were made so if you're in the same space, same place every single day, 5 days a week, just shut in a room by yourself, not given any work, and this is a fact, this isn't me just making it up, not given any work to do, barely remember to even get your lunch, every single day, and you're only a year 8 child, a year 7 child, you're only 13, 14, 15, or even 16, and you're placed in isolation. And they give it all these flowery names like reflection room and, safe space, and there's a teacher in there, and look, it's a lie. Because the children themselves will tell you exactly how they have been treated in this particular school, Harris Academy Beckenham. So and even if you guys see this video, you know exactly who I am, and you know exactly the organization that we represent is right there in the corner, or over there in the corner. You know exactly who we are, and we have been going back and forth for months, and we're going to continue because this news article actually falls quite in line with the same complaint that this parent and other parents, and you know who I'm talking about, and other parents are facing whilst at your school, or I should say other children. Anyway, let me go on. One teacher who was fired from the school described how she was let go just months before she was due to have a baby. Sounds about right. Sounds about white. The former teacher, who is Jamaican, said that what they did to me was cruel. I was 5 months pregnant when they let me go, and most of the things they said weren't even true. I wanted to challenge it legally, but the whole process was traumatizing, and I feared the stress would affect my baby. We are constantly criticised and set up to fail. Another Jamaican teacher explained they set us targets, but the goalposts will always move. You meet one target and they set another. It makes you constantly second guess yourself. It erodes you as a teacher. Teachers have also complained about their workloads at the school. The NEU reporting that almost 90% of teachers were stressed, with many struggling to sleep and having headaches. The union has also calculated that teachers at Harris Beckenham are working 95 hours over their recommended limit for the academic year, and are having to do extra tasks such as attendance calls and filling out forms for school trips. The Beckenham teachers have also said they are routinely asked to provide cover for their colleagues, sometimes on an almost daily basis. Let me go through this. The NEU claims that the Harris has stopped its officers from accessing the school, attempted to cancel union members' meetings, and denied representatives chance to attend training. It sounds exactly right. Like I said, this is exactly what they did to me when we went for the meeting with the head teacher and other teachers there. We've gone back and forth with them with regards to the complaints process. They've hidden their complaints process in their website because I couldn't find it for love nor money, but then just still managed to complain. 3 or 4 emails later, we are now finally, I think only about 2 weeks ago, got through to their governing board, who definitely will attempt to cover up what's going on. But they took a week to respond to the email that we had sent laying out our claim. Now, we know this is going to probably go all the way because they fail woefully at safeguarding children. They fail woefully at SEN and supporting children with special educational needs, or even getting those children assessed for their needs. Rather than doing that, particularly if you're a black child, you'll be locked in isolation for days, weeks, and months of a time. Now, this is not us making it up. We have facts, we have evidence. We don't need to say anything that is not true. And on top of that, this news article that was going around for some time actually proves our case, particularly as an organisation. Parents, if your children are facing this school, I need to put my glasses back on because I can't see what I'm reading. If your children do attend this school, please get them to write their own diary so they can keep, and you can keep a log of what's going on. The racist discrimination in a school like this is rife. This is not the first time as an organisation we've come up with regards to the Harris Trust, and I think the one that we were at in South London, I don't know South London that well, was quite fascinating because they brought a barrister who was really very faluting and hoity-toity and really believed that he would intimidate me. And I won the case, of course, because I'm not intimidated by anyone. Where our children are concerned, and you come up against a black woman, a black mother who has sons who were also made to go through something similar as a lot of our children are going through in the education system, I will not back down. I will not stand down. I will stand firm to make sure that we are protecting our children against the blatant, systematic, whatever you want to describe it as. But the only word that there is racism. These are children. Remember, we're talking about children who've been on the planet 5 years, 10 years, 15 and 16 years, and they're being locked in isolation rooms like they're hardened criminals. But if you as an adult made a mistake, you'll say sorry and carry on with your day, but you lock a child in isolation for up to 6 months at a time. You bully black teachers that have come from another country because clearly you guys can't recruit in the UK. That says a lot about this federation. How do we target them? Keep watch. How do we manage to hold them to account? Keep watch. I'll do another video. I know I haven't been online for a very long time, but because we keep getting banned, because people keep complaining that we're defending, but these guys keep complaining because we're defending these guys, then it becomes a problem. Take care.